Well, good morning, everyone. In the news, local news, chance of rain today, which you should expect because what was it? 4 days ago, when I cut hay, the forecast was 10 days of sun and heat. And then immediately, once everybody cut hay, the forecast was like, nah, just joking. Might rain. Well, let's see if we can take a look in here at our little surprises. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's get a little light. Little rabitos. Yeah. Mama Bunny did a good job. Yes, you did. You did a good job, Mama. Yeah. So did you, Thumper. Well, today's project is making hay bales. We're gonna take these are twine knives. They cut the twine after the knot is tied on the bale. And these little blades right here, hi Peanut, these blades right here from the factory are like $20 a piece when you can find them, and most of the time you gotta order them. So last year I modified it, welded some sides on, retapped it for a slightly larger screw because they were pretty small. And I'm making my own with utility blades. And these are actually probably sharp enough to get the job done. They'd probably be alright. But making hay is actually quite abrasive. And I'm going to change them so I'm 100% sure that they are sharp. Because if they are not sharp, it doesn't go well. It causes all sorts of problems. So I'm going to get set up and we will make some twine knives. Alright, so the setup. Just got to take the old one off. There we go. Nice and tight. Hope that didn't break my dang cutoff wheel. See, that's very small, which is why it's frustrating that they're difficult to get, but the baler I use is quite old. Made in the 60s. So there's those. Scoot this all the way to the end, get a little more workspace here so you guys can see. We're working cramped here this morning. Sharpie marker for the win. We're going to get 2 blades out of this pretty easily. And you know, we're talking $20 per blade if I buy them, and I can buy what, 100 utility blades for just a few bucks. My little impromptu clamp here to hold everything in place. Yeah, hope it don't come apart. That impromptu clamp, it ain't working. Oh, come on. See, you guys see that? Nice and shiny and new. And I'm actually going to take the two old ones with me, because if I happen to break one, say I run a rock through by some chance, you'd be amazed at what the baler picks up. Let me tell you. Having a spare, even a not new spare, can save the day. These used to be held in by a flathead screw, and I'd strip those suckers out almost annually. Because, I mean, they're exposed to some crud. You can see those look pretty rough, but they've been exposed for a year. I made these last year. We are back at the farm. Got my stuff. We're going to get this baler put together. And I think I'm actually going to take that rake while I got it on and pull my field up a little closer so that I don't have to make so many passes, because man, it ain't gonna make much. Hay is thin everywhere. Let's walk over here, I'll give y'all a look. Do. Muggy this morning. So, this is what it looks like after it's pulled together. Now, normally, this windrow, they'd be spaced like this, but that windrow would be a foot wider and a foot higher, at least, full of hay. Hay to be made anyway. But, it is what it is. We're gonna smush it together into squares, and we're gonna put it in the barn, and we'll be thankful for what we got, because there's gonna be people that are worse off than me, and I am glad to be able to do what I'm doing. So there's always a good side. Let's get this baler put together. So twine knife here, twine knife here. These are the knotters, this assembly. This is all cams that drives everything based off of this sprocket. Very complicated. Like, seriously complicated. And kudos to the engineers that figured this stuff out. It's quite cool to watch it work, which you guys will get to do soon. I hope the bolts I got for shear bolts are long enough. So this baler, much like a lot of farm equipment, it is protected by a clutch as well as shear bolts that just break off if something bad happens. I gotta find my Loctite. Well, it seems I left my Loctite at home, so they will not be getting a Loctite today. So my plan here is to just get these things studded, because I really need to. It's not uncommon to change these knives twice a year, twice a season, just because, you know, they kind of take a beating. And having them in good condition. I left that wrench on the tractor. Why didn't you guys tell me? Anyway, always worry that I'm going to strip out one of these holes. So by putting a stud on it, I'll wear the stud out maybe, but not the threaded hole.
because these take a space. You put washers is what they are. Washers, depending on where you're from. Right? So this will make my life much, much better when it comes to working on this thing. Mosquitoes are kicking around this morning. Try to get them to be about the same depth in there if I can. Just double nutting here to where I can thread it in. In theory, they should stop at about the same depth because of the hole they're going into. Looks pretty good to me. Right. Now, distance counts here. You can see that this was the stack of washers I had, so I'm going to put about 3 of these new washers on there, on each stud, and we'll see what that looks like on our knife. Well, I got that one on there a little crooked, but it won't matter. It looks good. I think we'll just use it. I do not like how those fit at all. A washer, and then a nylon locking nut. Should do the trick. Just want just enough of the nylon lock nut there to keep it tight. And honestly, the nylon helps protect the threads. In theory, those really shouldn't be stressed much. Got that last one put on. Could have made that stud a little, actually it's probably long enough. I just need to back it out, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to pick everything up, and I'm going to, the dogs are barking because my buddy stopped by, and you'd think they'd be used to him by now, but they just like to bark. But we are together there. Gonna be ready to run soon. Let's get set up, and we'll pull this together, and then I'm going to run across town and pull together one more field, and then I think it'll be time to get the baler on and get crack-a-lacking.